Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video from a very hot Western Australia. We've come to the end of 2023, partway through January now, and the final quarter of my year of small. It's been all about focusing on doing small things, making small changes, and focusing on a small number of projects. In this video, we're going to take a look at how the last quarter went, which was themed, as you can see over my shoulder, many small things lead to success. I use this board here because it's behind my desk. It's where I come to my desk every single day, and it puts the phrase straight into my eye line. I keep the phrase small and simple, so I'm constantly reading it and refreshing it in my mind. The aim of this quarter, it's focusing on small actions and doing many small actions. Every project that we undertake, it's made up of a series of smaller actions. And quite often, we can reduce these actions even further into even smaller actions. The idea here, it was to focus on identifying and then completing these smaller actions. The other areas where focusing on these smaller actions can help, well, we've got when things are going wrong, when you're stuck on something, when you're struggling with motivation. Now, when things go wrong, I've seen many people, they just jump straight in, they go into like a sort of panic mode and they want to fix the problem. And quite often, they don't think about it, they end up making things worse. What I always tell people, when things go wrong, the first thing you do is you stop. You think. You come up with a series of quick actions. By doing this, you spend just a small amount of time investigating the issue. Then you come up with this series of small actions, each one you can take, or even better, each one you can delegate to other people. Then what do? You get on, you work the plan. You review progress as you go along, add new actions as needed, and adjust any existing ones. When you're stuck, well, spend a few minutes thinking about what you're trying to do. Do not look at the big picture. The focus here, it's on what's stopping you. Come up with some small actions that can help you get over the block and move forward. Now, quite often, the reason why we're struggling to come up with a way forward is because we don't truly understand what it is we're trying to do. This is where stopping, thinking, doing. So an example here. You want to write the world's next greatest novel. Sounds like an awesome thing, doesn't it? But you've never written a novel before. You know what you like in the ones you've read, but you've never actually written one. You don't even know where to start. It looks like such a big, scary project. So you stop. You think. You start to create some small actions that will move you forward. And you come up with a list, a little bit like maybe come up with a title. Write a rough outline for the story. Come up with some chapters. Write each chapter. Now, to have an action to come up with a title, that could be quite easy. That might be something that springs to mind. Remember, that's not the end title, that's just your working one. Then you have to start coming up with that rough outline. Here, well, you hit that stumbling block again. So you stop. You think. You come up with some more smaller actions still. And this might be things like come up with some characters, describe the characters. Come up with some locations, again describe them, and then come up with some scenarios for your characters to overcome. Each of these you could again break down into some smaller steps, and you repeat this until you've got a series of small actions that you can easily achieve. Then what do? You get to writing, and before you know it, you've produced the world's next greatest novel. Now, if you're struggling with motivation, and we all get this is very similar. You don't really understand what it is you're trying to do. You don't know what's there to excite you about it. You're just really struggling to get on with it. What do? You stop. You think. You come up with a series of smaller actions, breaking them down as needed. And before you know it, you've got a list of small actions that you can easily achieve. You start to work on the first one. You get through that quickly. You move on to the next. You quickly hit that flow state and you start to deliver awesome results. Now, there's another benefit of breaking things down into smaller actions, and this is about repeatability and automation. This is where the true power can come in. You may find that they're things that you do a lot. Quite often, they can be quick and easy, but you do them multiple times a day. You can get a benefit here by thinking about them and how you can automate them. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean computer automation, although that does help where possible, but it's mainly about making a set of instructions that allows them to be done in the same manner. And strangely enough, if you've got the detailed enough instructions, you could even delegate it. So I've got a couple of examples here for you. The first one, this one's a computerized one. I post to social media several times a day, and I use a series of hashtags. So I've created 2 automations to help me with this. The first, it takes a comma-separated list of text, which I actually generate automatically from other programs, and it removes the spaces and adds in the hash mark. Now, this would normally take me 2 to 3 minutes to manually convert the list. Now, it's automatically done in under 10 seconds by selecting the text and running the automation. This saves me about 15 minutes each day. And if you've got a number of automations that all save you 15 minutes, doesn't that soon add up? The second, this is where I've got some commonly used hashtags. What I did is I created an automation that presents me with a list of common tags. I select from the list and it outputs the text in the format that I want. By using these 2 automations, I save time. I also reduce typos because I've already got the correct text. I'm just automating the selection and the formatting. A non-computerized repeatable action, well, that's where I look at uploading videos to YouTube. I've got a series of small actions that I run for every upload. I have these as a checklist, so every time I upload a video, I create a new version of the checklist and I just tick off each step as I complete it. The actual creation of that checklist, I do use some automations for that on the computer, so again, I've got automation on top of automation here. But by having this checklist, it means I've got a trusted, reliable method that I follow every single time. As I said, this is all about using small actions. It's all about understanding the small actions rather than the big picture. As I've said multiple times, stop, think, plan, then do. By doing this, what we're doing is we're focusing on achieving a lot of small, easy to do actions that very quickly add together and build up to deliver the bigger projects. So that's my Q4 wrapped up. Going to start now with my year of why, so I'll be changing my statement to a year of why statement. And again, in about 3 months, I'll come back and talk about how I've got on with that. How do you focus for your productivity? Do you find breaking things down to smaller tasks helps? As I say, I really find the power of it absolutely amazing. Please drop a comment down below. What techniques do you use? Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.